If you are over 75, and this may be more important than your daily walk, it has nothing to do with how far you can go and everything to do with whether your body can still protect you right now in your own home. Let me ask you something simple. Can you stand up from a chair without using your hands? Not quickly, not forcefully, just smoothly, safely, and under control. If that question makes you hesitate, stay with me because this is not about exercise. This is about independence. Most people over 75 believe one thing: if I can still walk every day, I'm doing fine. It sounds reasonable. Walking feels healthy, it feels active, it feels responsible. But walking does not test what you think it tests. Walking is a rhythm. Standing up is a demand. Walking is momentum. Standing up is strength. Shia, walking lets your body glide forward. Standing up forces your body to lift itself. And that difference changes everything. Here's what I want you to do. Right now, if you are sitting in a chair, scoot forward slightly, place both feet flat on the floor, about shoulder width apart, cross your arms over your chest, or let them rest lightly on your thighs. Now slowly stand up, without pushing off your knees, without grabbing the chair, without rocking forward violently. Just rise, pause, then slowly sit back down. No dropping, no falling back, just control. How did that feel? Did you rise smoothly, or did you have to lean far forward first? Did your knees shake? Did you push hard with your hands? Did you feel unstable at the top? Be honest, because your body already knows the answer. This is called a chair rise test. It takes less than 10 seconds, but it reveals more than a 30-minute walk ever could. Why? Because walking hides weakness. Standing up exposes it. When you walk, your body uses momentum. One step carries into the next. Your hips barely extend fully. Your core doesn't need to stabilize much. Your glutes barely fire at full strength. You can walk with weak muscles. You cannot stand safely with them. Standing up from a chair requires three things: hip strength, core control, and coordination. If any one of those is fading, your body compensates, and compensation feels like effort, or I'm just stiff today, or I didn't sleep well. But sometimes it's not stiffness, it's decline. Now I want to explain something carefully. This is not about fear, it's about awareness. There are three common responses to this test. Group 1, you stood up easily. No wobble, no push, no hesitation. If that's you, that's excellent, but don't leave yet, because maintaining it is just as important as regaining it. Group 2, you leaned forward heavily. Maybe you used a little hand pressure, maybe you felt your knees take over, you got up, but it wasn't smooth. That's the warning zone. Group 3, you needed your hands, or you felt unsafe, or you couldn't rise without momentum. That's the high-risk zone, and here's why. Most falls in adults over 75 do not happen while walking outside. They happen during transitions: standing up, sitting down, turning, reaching. Simple movements inside the home. Walking every day does not train transitions. It trains forward motion. Life requires transitions. Now think about this. If you need your hands to stand, what happens when your hands are full? If you lean heavily forward, what happens if the chair is lower? If you feel unstable rising, what happens in the middle of the night? This is not dramatic. This is reality. The ability to stand from a chair is one of the strongest predictors of independence. Not treadmill speed, not walking distance, not step count. It's our chair rise ability. And here's the part most people misunderstand. Walking more will not fix this. In fact, for many people over 75, walking more can make it worse. That sounds strange because walking is considered safe, but walking primarily strengthens endurance, not power, not controlled hip extension, not deep stabilization. If your glutes are weak, your knees will compensate. If your core is weak, your lower back will compensate, and compensation feels like exercise. But it doesn't rebuild lost control. It reinforces patterns, and patterns become habits. Habits become limitations. Let me show you the subtle shift. When you were younger, standing up was automatic. You didn't think about it, your hips drove the movement. Your core stabilized you. Your knees followed. As strength declines, Your hips stop leading, your knees start leading, your back rounds forward, your hands assist. And you call it normal aging. But it is not inevitable aging. It is undertrained movement. There is a big difference. Walking feels productive. Chair control feels small. So most people choose walking because it feels bigger, more impressive, more visible. But small movements determine safety. Now let me ask you another question. If you had to stand up from a low couch without using your hands, could you do it calmly, or would you rush? Would you rock forward? Would you push your thighs? Would you feel pressure in your knees? Your answer matters, because difficulty rising from a chair is often the first quiet sign. That lower body power is fading. And power matters, not speed. Power. The ability to generate force quickly and safely. Power is what prevents falls. Endurance does not prevent falls. Power does, and walking rarely trains power, especially slow walking, especially careful walking, especially flat surface walking. So that is why this simple 10-second chair test is more honest than your step counter. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine 5 years from now, two possible paths. Path one, you continue walking daily. You feel proud, you feel consistent, but you never train the ability to stand smoothly. You compensate more each year. You lean forward more. You push harder. One day, your knees start hurting. You walk less. You sit more. Standing becomes harder. Path two, you keep walking if you enjoy it, but you prioritize chair strength, you train transitions, you rebuild control. Standing becomes easier, not harder. Which path do you want? Because the difference begins here, with this test, not next year, not when pain starts. Now, let me say something clearly. If you struggled with the chair test, do not panic. This is common, very common, but ignoring it is the mistake. Most people respond like this. I'll just walk more. Or, I need stronger shoes. Or, I need to stretch my hamstrings. But tightness is often weakness, and more walking deepens the same movement pattern. So here is the key shift. If the chair test feels hard, the solution is not more walking. The solution is targeted seated strength work, controlled rising patterns, glute activation, core re-engagement, movements that restore leadership to the hips before the knees take over permanently. In the next part of this video, I'm going to explain exactly why walking fails to correct this and how it can quietly worsen knee strain. And then I will show you a simple seated approach. No heavy equipment, no standing endurance, no long sessions, just focused rebuilding. Because if standing up feels harder than it should, that is your body asking for something different, not more steps. Something different. Stay with me. Let's talk honestly about walking. Because walking is not the enemy, it is helpful. It supports your heart, it supports your lungs, it supports your mood. But after 75, walking alone is incomplete. And incomplete is dangerous when you believe it is enough. Here is what most seniors are never told. Walking is repetitive. It uses the same movement pattern, the same muscle sequence, the same rhythm over and over again, and repetition without challenge does not build protection, it builds familiarity. There is a major difference between endurance and strength. Endurance allows you to keep moving, strength allows you to control movement, power allows you to react. After 75, it is power that disappears first, not endurance. You can walk for 20 minutes and still not have the power to catch yourself. Power is the ability to produce force quickly. It is what stops a fall mid-step. It is what stabilizes you when you trip. It is what allows you to rise without rocking. Walking does not train power, it trains rhythm, and rhythm feels productive, but rhythm does not protect you from sudden instability. Now let's talk about muscle behavior. When you walk, your stride is short, your hip extension is limited, your glutes barely reach full contraction, your core stabilizers barely activate deeply. Most of the work shifts to your knees. That's subtle, but important. Your knees are hinges. They are not engines. Your hips are engines. When hips weaken, knees compensate. When knees compensate, joint stress increases. Walking more does not fix that pattern. It often reinforces it. This is why many seniors say, I walk every day, but my knees still hurt. Or, I walk every day, yeah, but I feel weaker getting up. because walking is not retraining the movement, it is repeating the movement. Now let's talk about the nervous system. After 75, your nervous system slows. Reaction time decreases, balance reflexes weaken. Walking on flat ground does not challenge those reflexes. You rarely lose balance during predictable walking. But life is not predictable. You step on a wet tile. You turn quickly, you reach sideways. That is when reflexes matter. Not during a steady walk. Research in aging science shows something important. Balance is context specific. If you never challenge single leg stability, your brain stops prioritizing it. If you never train transitions, your nervous system stops sharpening them. Walking uses both feet in alternating rhythm. There is always a safety net. You are rarely fully loaded on one unstable leg. But standing up, turning, shifting, these demand stabilization. And stabilization declines silently. Now let's address something even more subtle. See, walking can create a false sense of strength. Because you feel active, you sweat, your heart rate rises, you feel accomplished. But the chair test does not lie. If standing up feels harder each year, your body is adapting in the wrong direction. And here is something that surprises many people. The muscles that weaken first are not the big visible ones. They are the deep stabilizers. The glute medius, the transverse abdominis, the small ankle stabilizers. These muscles do not fatigue loudly. They fade quietly. And when they fade, your movement becomes knee dominant. Forward leaning, momentum driven. That is when falls increase. Walking does not activate glute medius strongly. Walking does not challenge deep core stability deeply. Walking does not retrain rapid force production. It preserves circulation, not protection. Now I want you to imagine this scenario. You are walking down the sidewalk, everything feels fine, and then you catch the edge of a crack. In that split second, your body needs power, not endurance. Your hip must fire instantly. Your core must brace instantly. Your ankle must adjust instantly. If those systems are undertrained, you fall. Walking did not prepare you for that moment. Now let's connect this to the chair test again. Standing from a chair is a closed chain power movement. Your feet are planted, your hips must extend, your core must stabilize, your knees must align. If you rock forward, that means your hips are not generating enough force. If your knees cave inward, that means stabilizers are weak. If you push with your hands, that means load capacity has declined. None of those are corrected by walking. They are corrected by targeted movement retraining. After 75, muscle fibers change. Fast twitch fibers decline faster than slow twitch. Fast twitch fibers are responsible for power. Slow twitch fibers are responsible for endurance. Walking mainly uses slow twitch fibers. So walking maintains what declines slower and ignores what declines faster. That is why you can still walk. But struggle rising. It is not mysterious. It is biological. Now let's talk about joint health. When glutes weaken, the femur rotates inward slightly. That changes knee tracking. Over time, cartilage experiences uneven pressure. Pain develops. Many seniors increase walking to loosen up, but if alignment is off, more walking increases repetition of poor tracking. That increases irritation. So walking is not harmful, but walking without strength foundation is incomplete. Think of it like this. Walking is like polishing the surface. Strength retraining is rebuilding the frame. After 75, the frame matters more. Now here is something hopeful. The body still adapts, even after 80, even after 85. But it responds to stimulus, not repetition alone. Small controlled resistance, slow eccentric control. Intentional stabilization, these wake the nervous system, these rebuild coordination, these restore confidence. Confidence is not psychological. It is neurological. When your body feels stable, your brain relaxes. When your body feels unstable, your brain tightens. That tightening creates stiffness. That stiffness increases fall risk. And the cycle continues. So the goal is not to stop walking. The goal is to stop believing walking is enough. If the 10-second chair test felt easy, keep it that way. If it felt shaky, now you understand why. In the next part of this video, I will show you exactly what to do instead. Simple, seated, joint-friendly, targeted. Movements that rebuild what walking ignores. Movements that restore hip leadership. Movements that protect knees. Movements that retrain balance reflexes. Because after 75, The question is not, can you walk? The question is, can you rise, turn, and react safely? And that is what we are going to rebuild next. Stay with me. Let's rebuild what walking ignores. After 75, you do not need more distance. You need more control. You do not need more steps. You need stronger transitions. You do not need longer walks. You need safer reactions. Here is the new rule. Train transitions, not mileage. The body loses strength in moments, not in minutes. It loses stability when shifting, not when cruising. So we retrain shifting. We retrain rising. We retrain reacting. Movement number 1, controlled sit to stand. This is not exercise, this is independence training. Sit tall on a firm chair, feet flat, hip width apart, toes slightly turned out. Cross your arms over your chest if possible. Lean forward slightly from the hips, not the waist. Press through your heels. Stand up slowly. Take 3 full seconds to rise. Pause for 1 second at the top, then lower yourself back down in 4 seconds. Do not drop. Control the descent. That lowering phase is where strength rebuilds. Start with 5 repetitions. Rest. Then repeat once more. 10 total. If that feels easy, add a 2-second pause just above the seat before fully sitting. That removes momentum. That forces your hips to lead. If you need your hands at first, you use them lightly, but aim to reduce support gradually. This movement retrains power. It restores glute dominance. It protects your knees. And most importantly, it rebuilds confidence in rising. Movement number 2, supported single leg hold. This is balance retraining. Stand near a countertop. Shift your weight to your right foot. Lift your left foot just 1 inch. Not high, just clear. Keep your chest tall, eyes forward, hold for 10 seconds. Switch sides. If 10 seconds feels easy, work toward 20 if balance feels unstable. So keep 2 fingers lightly touching the counter, not gripping, just hovering support. Once you improve, remove 1 finger, then hover your hand without touching. Balance improves with exposure, not avoidance. This trains ankle stabilizers, hip stabilizers, core stabilizers, the small muscles walking ignores. Those muscles save you during missteps. Movement number 3, wall hinge. Stand facing away from a wall, about 8 inches forward, feet hip width apart. Push your hips backward slowly. Let your glutes touch the wall. Keep your spine long, do not round. Pause 1 second, return to standing, repeat 10 times. This retrains hip leadership. It teaches your body to hinge, not collapse forward. Most falls begin with forward collapse. Hinge training prevents that. It strengthens glutes, it unloads knees, it restores alignment. Movement number 4, heel to toe walk drill. Stand near a hallway wall. Place 1 foot directly in front of the other, heel touching toe. Take 10 slow steps, eyes forward, not down. Use the wall lightly if needed. This trains coordination, not endurance. It sharpens balance reflexes. It teaches your nervous system to adjust. Slow, intentional, precise, not rushed. Now here is how you combine them. Morning, 5 sit to stands, 10 heel raises if you like. Midday, 2 rounds of single leg holds. Evening, wall hinges, heel to toe walk. Total time, 8 to 10 minutes. That is all. Walking can stay, but it becomes bonus, not foundation. Foundation is control. After 2 weeks, but the chair test feels easier. After 4 weeks, standing feels smoother. After 6 weeks, turning feels safer. After 8 weeks, confidence returns. Not exaggerated, not dramatic, just steady. And here's the important part. Consistency beats intensity. Slow beats fast. Control beats momentum. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are rebuilding protection. Protection equals independence. Independence equals dignity. And dignity matters. You do not need a gym. You do not need equipment. You need repetition with intention. If the 10-second chair test felt hard earlier, retest in 4 weeks. Do not guess. Measure. If it improves, you know you are on the right path. If it does not, increase hold time slightly. Add a 3rd set, but never rush. After 75, recovery matters. Listen to fatigue, not ego. Remember this. Walking keeps you moving. Targeted strength keeps you safe. You deserve both, but safety comes first. You are not declining. You are adapting. And adaptation can move in either direction. You choose the direction. Today, you learned something most seniors never hear. Walking is helpful, but incomplete. Strength is quiet. Balance is invisible. Until they are gone, now you know how to rebuild them. If this helped you, tell me in the comments, did the chair test feel easy or shaky? I read every response, and your feedback shapes what we build next. After 75, you are not fragile, you are responsive. And with the right movements, you stay upright, you stay strong, you stay independent, stay consistent, and stay with me.